experience and how I can identify herpes by doing your blood under $100,000 clear court thermal microscope, how we can see and we can literally foster out this parasite every single time. Literally. Got my Palo Santo going. Let me put it out. So first thing first, I am so familiar and I am so studied up and I am so experienced with herpes. You can come to my clinic. I can draw your blood. I can take 4 million blood cells, smear it, literally smear it on a slide glass. I can put it on my stage under my microscope. I can introduce the blood to luminescent light through a clear quartz crystal, and I can identify the parasite in your bloodstream each and every time. Every time. And I can identify to the point where there can be over 7 to 12 different types of what you would call bacterials or parasitics inside the bloodstream. And I can point out the herpes one every single time. And you don't even have to tell me you have herpes. You can come in here and do a live and dry blood analysis, and I can check your blood, and I can tell you that you have herpes. And most of the time what they say, Nabi, how did you know? I didn't tell you. Because herpes is a intercellular parasitic, with beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it has a name. Fasciolopsis boyski, a pleomorphic bacteria that starts off in the granule of your cells and that can grow to be at least 2-inch thick depending on where it's at, because it can lodge itself in your liver when it gets mature. It can lodge itself within inside of the thymatic muscles, the thymic glands, epithelial layers of the cells. When it gets mature, it can go to many different places after it passes the blood barrier and enter the mucosal lining or the mucosal membrane of the body. We talking about a multi-dimensional pleomorphic parasitic, y'all, that can be as small as it can be. Literally, you can put it on the pinhead of a needle 1,000,000 times to where it can grow in pleomorph, where it can be so big that it can get up to 2 inches long and get up to about 1/2 inch thick, depending on where it's at in the conditions or the terrain of your body. But look, I'm not even finna say all this myself. I'm gonna let research and study papers back this up. Okay, now, so the first thing is what I've been hearing is that herpes is not a parasite. That's what I've been hearing, right? So look, we're going to go through their own. Yes, yeah, they smell, they taste. And this is what I figured out. I think herpes is more spiritual than anything, because when you look at the way herpes interact with the body, especially when on a molecular on a molecular level, and how it hijacks the nervous system, specifically the trigeminal ganglia nerve, it's like it's trying to hijack our senses to be able to live through our senses. It's like a sensory hijacking. They want to live through us and see what we see and taste what we taste and eat what we eat and speak how we speak, because the nerves that it actually attack and what it lives in and what it pleomorphizes itself in is how you experience your reality. It only go through a few ganglias, and then it makes its way through the epithelium lining of your spinal column, and it literally lives throughout your spinal cord. It literally lives throughout your spinal cord. And then if any type of hormone imbalance or any type of secretion like cortisol, stress hormones, if it get agitated, then the little microbes will make its way back to the epithelial layers of your skin, and that's what you would call a outbreak. But you know, if you go look at it from a spiritual standpoint or a multi-dimensional standpoint, it's like these things are trying to hijack our nervous system to be able to experience reality. They damn near alien in a way, trying to hijack us to experience reality. You know what I'm saying? But look, check this out. So this says herpes simplex virus, the hostile guest that takes over your home. That takes over your home. Now, I want y'all to see what it calls us. This is the abstract. It says alpha A herpes virus, HSV1 and HSV2, like other viruses or obligate intracellular parasites. Parasites. So herpes or intercellular or inner cellular parasites. Now, There's hundreds and hundreds of articles from the scientific database backing this up. Here go the letterhead. Y'all can look up this peer review. This proves right here, without a shadow of a doubt, that herpes is actually a cellular parasite. Now, this is just talking about a parasitic on a cellular level. We haven't even gotten to the articles that talk about how it's a parasitic just on the actual fleshly level when it comes to your organs, how big these things can get. And there's a book by, what is her name? There's a book. It's called The Cure to All Diseases. It's a book. I can't think of her name. Matter of fact, I'll go get the book and find it for y'all. But she even called Dr. Hilda Clark. Thank you. It just came to me. Dr. Hilda Clark have a book called The Cure to All Diseases. She talks about how she studied up on herpes and how herpes was a fluke worm as well. And guess what? She got the same name that these other 3 German doctors came up with. It's a fluke worm called Fasciolopsis boyski, a pleomorphic bacteria worm that causes herpes. Now, before we start getting into the rest of these articles, I want to show y'all how this go. You can get parasitics from 2 types of things. You can get it from your external environment, or you can get it from your internal environment, depending on the terrain and your pH levels of your body. All right, so external environment, cats, dogs, walking around without your shoes on, which you should. But I'm just saying, there's a cost to living in nature. You can get a parasitic. You see what I'm saying? Drinking the wrong type of waters, contaminated waters, eating certain fruits and vegetables that you did not clean off well. I'm a farmer. I grow my own food. So well water. I got my own well water. So all these things, you can't miss the parasites. That's why you have to keep what you would call your immune system, or what I'm going to call the lymphatic defense system, up, because you're going to get parasites from everything, because they're in nature. And not only is they in nature, but they in you. You have 150 trillion cells. Out of 150 trillion cells that make up the human body, 100 trillion of those cells are actually microbials. This microbial network, or this microbiome network, or nothing but these pleomorphic shape-shifting bacteria that become parasites depending on the pH levels of your body, the oxygen levels of the oxygen levels of your body, and your mineral content. If your mineral content becomes depleted, they shift and they change. If the oxygen levels becomes a hypoxic state, guess what? They go take a lactic acid route, and then they pleomorphosize themselves and they change. If the pH of your body, pH stands for potential hydrogen. All pH means is voltage in a liquid, voltage inside the interstitium fluid of your body. Depending on that voltage, if it's super fast, it's acidic. If it's real slow, that's alkaline. Depending on how fast that voltage react inside of that liquid, that is going to shape shift and change. So you can get parasites just by eating wrong, and not from the food, but they come from your own cells. I done proved this to y'all in probably like 7 lives ago, when I took somebody's blood and I showed y'all a T cell, and I showed y'all a B cell. I showed y'all a killer lymphocyte cell. And then we went and we seen a neutrophil and we seen a basophil. And inside that basophil, you will see that the basement membrane door of that basophil opened, and then all of these little granules came out of the cell, and then these cells started having minds of their own. They was going into they was trying to penetrate other blood cells. You see that? They was eating each other, having sex with each other. These were once granules inside of a cells. That was a part of a cell organelle system. Then all of a sudden, the basal membrane was broken open due to cellular lysis. Then the granules came out of the cells, and then these deals shapeshift, and now their whole job description changed. So first they work with the body, but then when you don't work with your own body, they work against your body by trying to heal you. See, the thing about bacteria in the body, it can't play the digester and it can't play the trash man at the same time. It's either going to help you digest and break down your food. It's either going to help you fold proteins and amino acids. It's going to help you bring oxygen to the body, or you can change the actual position of your body, and now it have to eat acids because that's one of their jobs if you too acidic. You see what I'm saying? So depending on your terrain, that's how this pleomorphic bacteria responds to your body. So there's 2 different types of parasites that you can get. You have one that you can get from your external environment. Then you have one that can pleomorphosize itself from within inside of your own cells. And that's what a lot of these scientific scholars and research don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about cellular home birth bacteria that turns into parasites that's already inside of your body since you were born. They're already there because they make up your cells. They make up your cells. It's called pleomorphism. Look it up. It's a real word. Pleomorphism. But anyways, check this out. So we're going to say the instance that you get it from an external environment. Let's say that you have a dog and you like your dog sleeping in the bed with you, or you let your dog lick on you. Since this is a epithelial layer type of parasite, what happens is it happens through skin contact. Contact. Now look, let's just see. Because everybody think it's a virus. Let's just do common Google. Do herpes happen through skin contact? Does herpes happen through skin contact? Let me see your phone, Lane. See if it do it with yours. Because I forgot my tablet connected to my leg. And I'm going to show you how to get rid of this stuff. Does herpes happen through skin contact? There we go. Does herpes happen through skin contact? And this common Google stuff, man. All right, so here we go. It says yes. Yes, herpes can be transmitted through skin-to-skin contact. The herpes simplex virus entered the body through tiny breaks in the skin or mucosa membrane, such as the mouth or ganglia or anus area. Or it can just stay on your skin and it causes chicken pox. Or it can stay on your skin when you're older and it causes shingles. Or it can attack the mucosa membrane lining of your mouth and cause mono. If it stay in your system too long, it causes nerve damage because it hijacks the nerve damage. That's why most people that end up with Alzheimer's disease or dementia is basically decades of untreated herpes, memory loss, severe headaches because it lived out through the trigeminal nerve, which is the 12th strongest large cranial nerves of the whole entire body. But it starts off as a skin parasitic that jumps from skin to skin, and it can live on surfaces. A lot of people say, well, you can't get it from sharing towels. You can't get it from sharing bed. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And then new study and research that's finna be coming out shows that it can live up to 36 hours on cotton surfaces. Because you have a shedding process. You shed when you're going through your outbreak. And sometimes an outbreak is just a simple headache. Sometimes an outbreak is just a simple itch. You won't see the canker sores form, especially if your what you would call your immune system is actually up and you got 1,000 grams of L-lysine in you. Your outbreak is gonna live differently. You see what I'm saying? So look, it's a parasite, y'all, but we're gonna let the work speak for itself. Now, when you get a parasite, whether it's from an animal, whether it's from stepping outside, whether it's from having contact with an individual during their shedding process, and this worm gets inside of you, because that's what it is. What the first thing this worm going to do is it's going to eat and it's going to grow. It's going to find food. When it finds foods, it gets big. When it gets big, everything have a life and death cycle to it, y'all. So say this pleomorphic parasitic get big, right? Because they say it's a virus. I'm going to show you how this parasites create the virus. You get these parasitics called Fasciolopsis boyski fluke worms, and these same fluke worms is associated with HIV. These same fluke worms is associated with pancreaticum fluke worms, which is Fasciolopsis boyski again in the pancreas, which causes diabetes. The same thing that lodges itself into the thymus gland that kills your CD4 cells and have your CD4 count go low, which they call HIV. The same one that siphons and suck all of the calcium from your parathyroid and causes hyperparathyroidism. We're talking about parasites, y'all. Now, these parasites have their own genes. These parasites have their own DNA. These parasites eat, they poop, they think. Their whole thing is to make you the host, where they can hijack your peripheral nerve system and they can live your reality. These are like demonic demons. That's why when you look at ancient biblical texts, they called parasites what? Demons. Notice that. Notice when Christ took the parasites or the demons out of somebody, he cast them into what? The swine. And that's the reason why pork or pig have more parasites than any other mammal in existence. It's all scientific research when you start looking this stuff up. Now, everything go through an apoptosis cycle where it has to die. So if you have parasites in you, since they are living entities, they have to die. They have to go through their life and death cycle. When they die, just like you can see a deer that get hit on the side of the road. If you see a deer get hit on the side of the road, it look perfectly normal unless you done tore a limb off of it. But if you come back 2 days later, it's stiff as hell, and its belly is swelled up. The reason why it's stiff and the reason why the belly is swelled up is because oxygen have left the body. Carbon dioxide and methane have built up into the chest cavity, into the diaphragmatic muscles. Now, this swelling is going to go through something called lysis. When the belly explodes on the deer or on that mammal that's been hit, when that explodes, guess what's happened? All of the intestines start to spill out the side. Not only that, but on the micro level, not only the intestines went, but the gases went into the air. Most of the cells went into the air. Bacteria went into the air. Any viruses it had went into the air. Same thing that happens when these parasitics die inside of your system. They go through their cellular lysis. They fill up with methane and fill up with gas because the microbiome kingdom and fungus and fermentation is trying to break them down to turn them back to dust, because we are ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We was created from the ash, the mineral ash and content of the earth. We go back to the mineral ash and content of the earth. What does that? A decaying process. It's called fermentation. Well, guess what fermentates you back to ashes, y'all? The microbial parasitic kingdom. These are facts. Just look it up. So when these things get inside of your body and they die, and methane and carbon dioxide build up inside of them, they explode. When they explode, they go through something called parasitic intercellular lysis, where they bust forth in your interstitial fluid. Now, when they bust forth, guess what? Remember, they had genes. Remember, these parasites have their own DNA. Remember, these microbes got their own food supply. Remember, they have their pee, they have poop. So when they burst forth inside of your system, guess what trajectiles through your systems? Their DNA, their genetic code, their poop, their pee, their feces. So once they bust forth and this thing goes inside of your system, your innate immune system, or what I'm going to call the lymphatic defense system, goes on high alert. It goes on high alert. The first thing that gets alerted is the T cells, the B cells. These are your lymphocytes. These are your phagocytes. These are your neutrophils, your basophils, your monocytes, and your eosinophils. So they on high alert now because the immune system have been warned that it is a foreign object inside of them that's genes that is not theirs. So guess what they do? They go after the genes, they go after the DNA and try to find it, but they can't find it because herpes is so smart. This is how you know it's a parasitic and have a mind of its own. Let me show you how dope it is. I know it sounds crazy. Let me show you how dope herpes is. This damn thing, it finds a opening in the mucosa lining of your mouth or of your urethra, which is going into the tip of your penis or going into the tip of your urethra of your vagina cavity, right? It will find a way in there. And once it passes the mucosa barrier, it will find the nerves. It will go all the way to the spinal cord, burrow itself into the spinal cord, and take a trip all the way up into the ganglion nerve. And then that's where it lies dormant at, because it wanted to establish latency or dormancy, basically where it hides for the immune system cannot detect it. Did you know herpes have its own immune suppressive chemicals to it? Literally mean it will suppress the immune system or the lymphatic system, for the lymphatic system can't even find it. Not only that, this thing works hand in hand with candida. Herpes and candida, or what I'm going to call yeast and fungus, are best freaking friends. It'll find candida and holler at candida and tell candida to hide it. It'll talk to candida and say, hey, look, fold the biofilm that you produce around me for when the immune system do try to attack me, it can't kill me. This is a thinking entity here, y'all. This ain't no dead. See, they say viruses are dead. They say viruses are dead proteins. This don't sound like a dead protein to me. This sound like something smart. Check this out. Think I'm playing. Let me just type this up. Look at this. HSV virus and Candida albicans connection. Scholarly article. Look at what they say. This says herpes simplex virus 1 entrapped in Candida albicans biofilm displays decreased sensitivity of antivirals UVA1 laser treatment. Recently, we published data suggesting that it's a mutualistic relationship between herpes virus and Candida albicans, y'all. They have a damn mutualistic relationship. Now check out how smart this damn thing is. It says HSV infected macrophages or inhibited in their anti-candida effector function. Candida biofilms protect HSV1 from inactivation. Let me put that on there for y'all, just in case y'all think I'm just making stuff up. Do y'all see that? So it actually protects HSV1 from inactivation. You can't even inactivate it because what it does is it uses Candida biofilms. It hooks up with Candida and it tells Candida to use its biofilm as a cloak, and it covers itself. That way, when the macrophages and the lymphocytes and the phagocytes go after it to try to neutralize this damn parasitic, it can't even find it because it done put on an invisible cloak called yeast Candida. You can't tell me that's dope. It hides. So my question is, if a virus is a dead protein with broken down genetic material that comes inside of its own envelope, and the only way the envelope can be open if you put yourself in stimuli environments, if it's dead, how is it thinking like that? If it's dead, how do it pee and poop? Because we gonna go through other scientific articles that says it defecates, it pees and poops. Viruses pees and poops? They defecate? Viruses know how to enter the mucosa membrane in 2 ways. Viruses know how to travel along certain nerves, and it only chooses 3 nerves bundles to go in. Why don't it go through other nerve bundles? It only go through the nerve bundles that how you experience your senses to this reality? This sound like a damn alien invader to me. It sounds like an alien invader, and it sounds like his way into the body is by way of another parasite called Fasciolopsis buski flukeworm. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like that it walks around and it uses Fasciolopsis flukeworms as its host, hoping, and imagine that type of experience, being a damn worm. That have to be the most worst, suckiest experience in reality ever. So they just using that as a card to get to humans. Hoping a human step by and step on it. Hoping a human lick their dog in the mouth. Hoping a human be carelessly and just have sex with anybody. Hoping these things for they can get inside of a human host, because we experience the best realities because we're the closest to God that God can be. We're the closest to that. To me, it sounds like a damn alien. Don't that make sense though? Now look, check this out, y'all. Look, because I ain't done. Now, intestinal worms infections. We predispose women to viral STDs like herpes. I'm on the road here, y'all. Hold on. Look, do y'all realize I got 15 of these articles pulled up? And I just did this in 10 minutes? Wait till y'all see the presentation I got. And you can get these things from animals. It's called zoonotic transmitted diseases, where you can kiss and touch on certain animals and actually get these diseases. And this is another lie that they say. They say that they say that animals cannot pass herpes to humans. There's too many articles proving it already. And then when you read it in an article, it says that it's a rare instance. But then when you look up these rare instances, it'd be like 74,000 instances in the last decade. That's not rare to me. 74,000 in 10 years is a whole freaking lot to me. What about y'all? Is that a lot to y'all? That's a whole lot. Where a zoonotic disease can pass over what they call the virus, which is really a parasite, to humans? Come on, man. Like, look, we have to start really reading this data and reading between the lines. And we also have to quit using Google to try to down your brother, because I don't use Google. I use my own research. I have my own laboratory. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars of microscopes. I'm really into hematology and biology. Really, I don't play this game and act like I'm something I'm not. I do this for real. So before y'all try to down me and say that I'm lying about something, make sure that you really studied up, because I really do this shit for real, in real life. 18,000 square feet clinic where I do clinical trials every day. We see 16 patients a day. We running them through all of these different machineries, technologies. We doing biolabs. We drawing blood. We sending blood off to laboratories. We really doing this. We not just playing or bull crapping around here. We do this for real, for real. And this is not to toot my own horn. I'm just saying this for future healers. You don't have to knock other healers to come up. Just do the work and eventually your light will shine. Now, let's get back to this because it gets deeper. So, intestinal worm infection can predispose women to viral STDs. Now, check this out. It says the new research has found that intestinal worm infections may put women at risk for sexually transmitted disease such as HSV1 and HSV2. There it go right there. Now, what you're going to start seeing is every time you see a parasite, you see HSV1 and 2 follows. Every time you see intestinal worm, and notice these intestinal worms are always fluke worms. It's never tapeworms. They're always fluke worms. Why are they always fluke worms? Because that's the worm that carries HSV. And look, mind you, HSV or herpes, or whatever we want to call it, the zoster, right? Varicella zoster, whatever we want to call this disease, there's over 108 prone to mammals. Out of that 108, that's different strands that's prone to mammals, 18 to 23 is now prone to human beings. You have itchy elbow disease. You have herpes dermatitis. You have epithelial fungal infections. You have eczema. You have psoriasis. You have chickenpox. You have shingles. All of these things are a part of the herpes zoster family. Some of them live on the skin. We had a lady, she just had herpes in one spot on her leg behind her knee. Nowhere else. That's the only place she have her outbreaks at. Behind her leg on her knee. Where did she get that from? I'm pretty sure her man wasn't humping her knee. You see that? And then comes to find out she work a lot. And she got it from her gym clothes. No sex was involved. No sex was involved. We have another lady from here from STL. She had herpes on the bottom of her foot and on her palm. Herpes. Did a live swab culture. It came back. Her IgG numbers was at like a 97. Her palms and her feet. Where did that come from? She got a foot fetish. She was doing things with her feet that she wasn't supposed to be doing. Or what we talking about is beyond an STD at this point. Or is it really beyond an STD and we need to quit calling this thing a STD viral infection? And it's really a worm parasitic that you can get through having sex, but you can get it through many variations of things, y'all. And it's a microscopic worm that grows to be a big boy. And when it dies, it projects its microscopic little genes and babies inside of you. And the cycle continues. And the reason why they say that it's not curable, because it has a fascinating way of hijacking the nervous system, hiding behind metals. We're going to go there too, because it hides behind metals in the body like aluminum, like cadmium, like lead, and all these other things, right? It hides behind metals and it hides behind yeast, candida, and fungus. And it basically put on an invisible cloak for the immune system can't even see it. Ooh-wee. But guess who been getting rid of that thing? Y'all have, but guess who been helping y'all? I have. Plenty of paperwork showing it. Plenty of paperwork showing it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we really do this. Let's keep going. It says, a study published in the Cell host of microbes discovered that intestinal worm infections can change and increase the likelihood of herpes simplex virus 1 and 2 infection, which is the main cause of genital herpes. This study was conducted by an international team led by the researchers of the University of Cape Town, UCT, with collaborations of University of Birmingham, University of Bonn, Bonn, Norwing, University Science and Technology. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So I see somebody in there asking, why do you have the outbreaks? What happens is, like I said earlier, due to different type of stress and triggers from the environment, usually hormonal, it will leave the ganglia nerve and go back and enter where it came in from. And usually the place where it entered in from is where you experience the outbreak, unless you have a spread, because you can't spread. You can have an outbreak, and a man can have an outbreak on his penis, touch his penis, and God forbid, don't know why he'll be doing this, but he can end up touching his anus and it can spread back there. We done seen people that have herpes outbreaks under their underarms or right here, right where they scratch their face at. So it's like, we got to quit calling this thing, and you can get it from foods. A lot of people like, well, it can't come from food. Chicken have something called Marac's disease. If you look up Marac's disease in chickens and monkeys, this is herpes. This is herpes. Tilapia have herpes. Tilapia, look, let me show y'all this stuff. Chicken with herpes. Can't pass away zoonotic diseases. They all want to run to Google, but don't even use Google the right way. All right, here you go. Chicken herpes, also known as Marac's disease, is a highly contagious viral disease that can affect children and other poultry. Marac's disease. And you eating millions and millions of chickens a day. And that chicken can't be real. There's not that many chickens on the planet. Think about Chick-fil-A. Think about McDonald's chicken nuggets. Think about Burger King chicken nuggets. Think about Popeye's chicken. Think about Church's chicken. Think about what is it? KFC. That's how you know I don't eat the bull crap. Think about in every different state in America, they are not raising that many chickens. Y'all eating clone meat at that. You know what I'm saying? With all these type of sexual hormones shot up in them, then you eating all these chickens, then you have an outbreak and you want to fire your husband, you fire your wife. Y'all thinking y'all done gave each other a STD, a disease, and your ass been had that in your system since you was born. It passed down from you through genetics through your mama. And all of a sudden you hit 21 years old one day, you had a midlife crisis, and then these hormones imbalance done changed, and then boom, you have an outbreak. Your whole marriage done went to SHIT. Because you've been listening to the narrative that they have been painting for you, and you haven't really been doing the research. If it's a STD, and I've been asking this for the last 15 years. Been studying it for the last 13 years, but been asking this question for the last 15 years. If these are sexually transmitted infections, or because they changed the word disease. They want to make it sound real scientific now. So it's not a sexually transmitted disease no more. It went from a sexually transmitted demon to a sexually transmitted disease. Now they got this new word, sexually transmitted infections. Ooh, sounds amazing, don't it? But if these STDs are real, how did the first person get it? I got 10,000 buckaroos for anybody that can answer this for me. Anybody that can answer this for me. If it is in fact a sexually transmitted disease, that would mean it had to start that way. I get that you can get it and give it to somebody through mucosa exchanges, fluid exchanges, blood. I get that part. But if it's a real STD, it had to start out that way. 10,000 buckaroos. How did the first person get it though? I'm listening. That's what I'm saying, y'all. We have to be a generation of thinkers, not of followers. We always want to regurgitate something, and then we want to Google something real quick and take that information. Do you realize that they spend $2 billion a year on low scientific research to make the experiments and study go their way? Do you know no scholarly article you really read, it was meant to go in the favors of the public? It's always meant to go in the favors of the companies and corporations who pay for the experiment for they can sell their pharmaceuticals and products. Damn, I said pharmaceutical. Damn, I said it twice. Hopefully I don't flag this. I was doing good. I ain't cussed or nothing. Golly. You see what I'm saying? So you think you so smart with your black self. You go on the same Google contaminated research to try to prove a free thinking person that really do his own experiments, that really have his own laboratory, that really have his own manufacturing company, that really have his own clinic, that really have all of these things, not making this stuff up at all, that really have this stuff. And you will use the Google research to probably prove me wrong. That don't even make sense. Caught up in this same loop. And yes, do not trust no Chat GPT. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're a compromise. Very compromised. Trust me. Somebody tried to get me hip to chat GPT, boy. I tried to use that to prove that cancer was not a disease at all. Boy, that deal, boy, hit me with all types of cancer is in fact a genetic disease. I'm like, no, it's not. Cancer is not a genetic disease. Cancer is due to hypoxia. It's the body trying to heal itself. Boy, I put that in there, boy. That deal, it stuck straight to the code. So yeah, you can't. If you're a free thinker, you can't use Hey, look, me, I'm against all of it. I don't even believe in the concept of the disease, so it's kind of hard for any type of AI to help me out. Only thing AI can do for me is help my grammar correction, because I can't speak worth the damn, and I'm cool with that because I'm very intellectual, but, you know, I still got my lamest terms and my hood language from the streets mixed in with the scientific stuff, so you might see me go scientific hood back and forth within one sentence. So only thing I can use it for is it can correct my grammar and help me with my spelling issues. That's it. I can't use it for nothing else. I tried, believe me. I tried. Didn't I not be? Yeah. I tried. It didn't work. That deal took me right back to Google. It took me right back to the common bull crap you read every day. All right, let's see. All right, we talked about the chicken ones, but we're going to show that again. What else we got here? It's a bunch of stuff here, y'all. All right. Herpes ganglia and peripheral sensory ganglia in the body, where herpes simplex virus establishes latent infection and can be reactivated. And it just shows how it travels. And that's the reason why I tell y'all, if you got herpes, we like for y'all to rub that oregano oil up and down your spinal column and take it topically and orally, because it likes to inhabit the actual nervous system. It does. And that's why we say no dark chocolate. We also say no coconut flesh. Anything that have a high amount of L-arginine in it, because that's gonna send those hormone signals, and you're gonna have outbreaks. But L-lysine, what it does is it inhibits L-arginine, and it keeps you from having outbreaks. But you gotta be on real L-lysine, and it gotta be at least 1,000 milligrams a day. At least 1,000 milligrams a day. That'll help boost what they call immunity, or what I'm gonna call lymphatic defense immunity, and that's what keep you from the outbreaks. Now, getting rid of herpes. They're saying it's impossible. I challenge anybody. If it is impossible, then why do we have thousands of papers showing people diagnosed with herpes, come get on the regimen, come take the herbs, come get on the diet protocol, and then they get rid of the worms. You see the worms in the toilets. We have pictures of all this stuff. We see the worms in the blood. The worms leave. We give them the geogenetic therapeutic package, and then they test negative by the same corporations that they did the blood analysis with. That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna have to call a spade now. And y'all, look, I'm welcoming anybody who can challenge me on this, because we just got too many of them. If and that's what I talk about in my book. If it's in fact incurable, like they say it is, they say it's incurable. I don't believe in disease, so I don't believe in cures, because you only can cure disease, and I don't believe in disease. But if it's in fact incurable, then why can you go to a LabCorp? Why can you go to a Quest? Why can you go to your doctor, and then they draw your blood, they check your IgG numbers, and your IgG protein numbers are high, showing that you do have the herpes antibody protein that have built up to what they call this virus. Then we take you through these series of things that you do for yourself. I don't heal herpes. Your body heals itself for herpes. I just put you in the right environmental conditions. Then you come back to me about how many months you say it usually take now, B? About two and a half, 3 months. 2.5, 3 months. And you come back, and then now your IgG equivalency number is now below 0.90, and you're negative. So my question is then, how is it incurable? How? That's all I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just, every day I look up, somebody got my name in their mouth. And it's just the craziest thing. And I think I love it because it brings beautiful lessons like this out. But yes, from my research, yes, from my clinical trials, yes, from my experience, yes, from my experiments, and from scholarly articles, since y'all want to run to Google so much because y'all can't think for yourselves. Not only am I saying that herpes is an actual parasite, but Google say that herpes is a parasite. The scholarly articles say that herpes is a parasite. Dr. Hilda Clark, with the book Cure to All Diseases, says that herpes is a parasite. Dr. Bronze, Brone, that speaks about oxygen a lot, he says that herpes is a parasite. that only come in a hypoxic environment. And that's the reason why a lot of y'all are doing hydrogen peroxide therapy, because it brings a bunch of hydrogen and oxygen to the body to eradicate herpes. This is what I'm saying. I'm not the only scholar saying it, because I consider myself a scholar. Most of these colleges that gave me honorary doctorates consider me a scholar as well. That's the reason why I'm able to lecture at most of these HBCUs and be amongst the big boys and speak about what I speak about, because I am considered a scholar in my field of regenerative therapy. I'm actually considered that. You see what I'm saying? So if we are all saying that it is a parasite, for a person that haven't done no research, for a person that never showed any type of testimonies of healing, for a person that get on here and just talk about other people all day, how can you say it's not a parasite when I know for a fact you don't have a microscope? You probably wouldn't even know how to use a microscope if I put it in your face. And I challenge you to do that too. You probably don't even know what a 20,000 objective is. You probably don't even know how to do a IgG equivalency test. You probably don't even know the PRC machines to run it through, because you don't have an STD laboratory. That's what I'm saying. Like, why do I constantly have to speak on things like this? And the only reason I speak on this is because all of y'all be blowing me up in my inbox. Would you please speak on this, Yaki? Would you please speak on this, Yaki? Would you please speak on this? And it's like, I'm only responding to y'all. It's not to the people that's talking about me. It's actually to my following. But it's like, why do I constantly have to speak on people that's not even on my level? I mean, nowhere near my level, not even accomplish the worldly things that I've accomplished, not even alone the spiritual things. Why do I constantly have to bring people into my podcast or bring people up around my teachings when they haven't even done the real work? They're a Google scholar. They're on Google. They not even got their foot in the real field. And I'm just tired of doing that with y'all. So I ask y'all this all the time. If you can, family, if you love me like you say you do, please quit bringing me people that haven't even got the right education on the topics that they talking about and talking about me. If somebody talking about me, report their page or something. Don't send it to me. Don't send it to me, because it irritates my soul. Especially when you look up these people and they not even half your equal. It'd be cool if somebody even had their skin in the game like I do. But these are people, these are little boys. Some of them is younger than 25 years old. I am 36 years old, y'all. I've been doing this for 15 years. 15 years. You see what I'm saying? It should automatically be a respect level there just off of that, period. It should automatically be a respect level there. I'm damn near 15, 20 years older than y'all. And we constantly I can really help you young brothers out if y'all really want to help. I can really help y'all and put y'all on some real game. I can show you a real laboratory. I can promise on my mother's life y'all never been to a laboratory. And I can let you into one. I can let you into a real clinic. Real clinic. You see that? With real equipment. Millions of dollars worth of cutting edge technology. You can have access to that. Real healing homes. You can have real farms. None of y'all don't even grow your own food. I grow my own food. I eat my own food, y'all. Like, I can really put y'all on game and show y'all how to really walk the walk and talk the talk. We don't have to down each other. We don't have to put each other down. We don't have to constantly bring each other up. You see what I'm saying? Y'all going about this the wrong way if y'all trying to get game or get attention and recognition. The best thing to do is come holler at me. Let me really put you on something. That's the best thing to do. Let me really put you on some game. All right, I'm finna answer some questions, y'all. I'm finna answer some questions. Now, we talking about herpes, so look, let's get deep into herpes, y'all. Let's do it. Any questions y'all got? Any questions y'all got? Please teach us. I'm willing to learn. That's all I do, baby girl. All I do is teach y'all. I don't do nothing else. This is my... When will the geogenetic therapeutic package level 2 be back in stock? I thought we had that back in stock.
And then it went.
Y'all buy them so fast, y'all. So I'll call the warehouse in the rising and see why they not back in stock. But we caught up to date on our orders, so we keep a low stock. That way we ain't backed up. Y'all know we used to be backed up for months, y'all. We not backed up like that no more. So we try to keep it low in stock. Peace. I can't talk to you unless you put your face in the phone now. I gotta see who I'm talking to.
Oh, hi.
Peace, guys. What's your name? Where you from?
I'm Yaya. I'm from Texas.
Yaya from Texas. Which part of Texas?
Dallas.
Dallas. Texas in the building. We got some
Yeah.
major work going on out there in
You
Dallas.
know what? I was gonna ask you, where is your clinic in Houston? Because
So,
I've been wanting to go.
so
I just don't know where it is.
it's a laboratory, it's a lab in Houston. It's not a clinic, and that's
Okay.
where we do blood tests and we do genetic tests, blood tests, and STD tests. It's a lab. It's not
Gotcha.
a clinic. Yeah, that's what it
Gotcha.
is. But what's
Okay.
going on with you? But my clinic here is in St. Louis. It's 2402 North Highway 67. That's where it's at. I'm gonna be closed for a month though, because I'm finishing my book out. We're going into the editing process of the book, so I'm gonna be closed for a month. But we're gonna open back up when I be
January.
January.
Right after conference.
January, right after my conference, we're gonna open it back up. So I'm gonna be closed for the next month though. So look, come to St. Louis and see me. 2402 North Highway 67, Florissant, Missouri.
They had a
What's up,
Yaki.
young Prince? You hooping? Where the hoop at? I see you got the ball. Where the
It's
hoop?
right over
Let me
there.
see you hit something real quick. Let me see you hit something. Put your
Oh,
money where your mouth is, man. Put your money where your mouth is.
I can dunk it.
Nah, shoot a three. You shoot a three, I send your mama a free three bitter. Ah. But look, what's going on with you, Miss Yaya?
Honestly, this is, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, my brain is like, no, but can you share anything you have going on in Dallas or no? Because I really like
Can we
am
talk
into
about
like this.
Dallas, Nobby? Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, yeah, I probably want to wait, but it's some big things going on. You know.
Okay, yeah. So he said we can't speak on it yet, but we
Okay.
done we in the midst of purchasing and acquiring
Oh, I
a
actually do
large
have a
property out there.
question. It's
Hmm.
okay, so I'm like severely anemic, right? Like
Okay.
I eat ice like so much, like all day, every day. I
Uh-huh.
know that's like a symptom of it.
Uh-huh.
But how can I improve my iron intake? I don't eat a lot of meat, so I everyone's always like, "Oh, eat red meat, eat red meat, eat red," but I don't
Yes.
like it, you
So how
know?
red meat get their iron? They get their iron from dark leafy green vegetables and alfalfa leaf and grass and stuff like that. So how you get your iron? You probably eating enough to get iron. You probably just not utilizing the iron correctly. What utilizes your iron is your adrenals in your liver. Them two things. So if I was you, I would do a liver cleanse and then I get my adrenals back online. That's how you utilize your iron. The whole point of iron is to dock with the cell to bring oxygen, and the whole point of oxygen is to exchange the body from carbon dioxide so you can have energy. So iron is very, very important. So if you want to get iron, things like watercress, that's a dark leafy green vegetables that is full of iron. Watercress. If you want to talk about herbs, you have something called lamb's quarters. You have sarsaparilla, Jamaican or Honduras sarsaparilla is full of iron. All right, burdock root, greater burdock root is very good for iron. Yellow dock is very good for iron. When you think about iron, your doctor say be herbs. His favorite herbs are very full of iron phosphate and iron fluorine. So that's what I do for iron. But you might be getting iron in, you might just not be utilizing the iron. And if you're not utilizing iron, you have to go after the glands. And the gland I go after is the adrenal glands, and then I'll go after your primary lymphatic organ, which is the liver. So do a liver cleanse. You can Google a liver cleanse, or I can send you the instructions for the liver cleanse. You would do it 5 days on, 5 days off for 3 weeks straight, and that'll open up your liver, and it'll work with your bilirubin and work with your ALT and AST levels, and that'll help you utilize your iron as well. But you can't utilize iron efficiently if the adrenals are down and if your liver and your gallbladder is backed up, and that's probably what it is.
I
Because we had a person with sickle cell anemia, we got their adrenals online and we got their liver flushed, and then they sickle cell anemia slowly and gradually went away over the course of a year. So it just shows you that a lot of people don't be associating their mineral utilization content with the adrenals. We utilize your minerals, we utilize your sugars, we utilize your steroids and your lipids or your adrenal glands. And these are the facts. So if you can't utilize, so you might have a bunch of iron, but it might just be sitting in your liver breaking down to bilirubin. You see what I'm
now that
saying?
you say, I did get my gallbladder removed like 6 years
You
ago.
see what I'm
So
saying?
okay.
I never met you a day in my life. That's how you know I know what I'm
Yes.
talking about, though. So,
Yes.
so, so if your gallbladder have been removed, then you already compromised there too, because your gallbladder, it produces bile, and bile breaks down your fats, and bile helps detoxify your liver. So your liver is not detoxifying right. So we need to detoxify your liver. So if I was you, I would do a liver detox. I would get my kidney and adrenal kit from off of my site, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Last question. If I was to just get like a six, the like your geogenetic level 1 package,
Uh
right? Because it's not just iron, it's a lot, like hormonal imbalance, like
huh.
it's a
But
lot, right?
again, hold on. But what I say, what's in control of your hormones? Your adrenal
Adrenal.
glands.
Hmm.
That's what controls your steroids. Most of the time, when a woman say hormone, she means steroids. The steroids are produced by your sexual organs and it's controlled by your pituitary gland, your thymus gland. I mean your thyroid gland and your adrenals. It's called the pituitary thymus. The pituitary thyroid adrenal axis. So if you don't go after those specific endocrine tissues, then it won't work. It's your adrenals. I bet you your adrenals are down.
Okay. All
So yeah,
right.
but the level one should, because the level one is a whole entire body cleanse. It only lasts a month and a half though. I would say the level two because it lasts 2.5 months and it literally go after everything. But get those adrenals online. Just be working with ashwagandha root. Just be careful because a lot of people been overdosing on ashwagandha lately. So just keep the dosages low. Astrelagalis root, that's another good one, and then wild yam root. These are things that's very, very good for the adrenals. Make sure that you're cleansing up the kidneys with parsley leaf, juniper berries is very, very good for the kidneys as well. And then cleaver's leaf. Make sure you cleansing the actual lymphatic system. And last but not least, to go after the endocrine system and to really, really focus and target those adrenals and the rest of those endocrine glands, like your pituitary gland and your thyroid glands, berries, the whole entire berry kingdom.
Okay. All right. Okay. But if I'm doing the level 2 package, I don't need to do the kidney and thing, right?
No,
Because you, like
because
you
it
said, they go
because
to
because it comes with it. It comes with it. So when you
copy.
go on, yeah, so it comes with it. So when you go on the site and you order it, matter of fact, when we get done, just shoot me a inbox, and then I have not be contact you. You then not be,
Yes, sir.
and then because we
Okay.
got to custom make it for you anyway. I got you. Just shoot me an inbox, shoot me a
Okay.
DM, and then I'll be a contact you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you so
All right, Miss
much.
Yaya, peace.
Bye. Wait, how do I get off
You click
this?
your screen and it's gonna be an X. Just hit the X in your top left. Hit your screen and then hit that X button.
What? No. Okay, got it.
All right,
Bye.
peace. All right, who else we got? I'm going down the line, y'all. Going down the line. I have my crushed ice in the fridge, me lady. Y'all got to get off that crushed ice. Fix those adrenals. Blessings, blessings, peace,
Listen,
peace, goddess. What's your name? Where you from?
I'm from Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Miami. You know, that's my second home now. South Beach. I
Okay, okay.
miss
I'm
it.
in North
I ain't been
Beach.
here in a long time. What's your name?
Barry.
Barry. What's going on with you, Barry?
I'm good. I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So I've been doing research for a friend of mine's, and he wanted to ask certain questions as far as he wanted to know, as far as with the herpes outbreak, how would he know he's having a herpes outbreak if he came in contact with someone that has herpes?
So what he got to do first is I think he need to get tested. And since he don't have a, so we do two types of things here. If you having an active outbreak, we will swab the canker sore or we will swab the blister and then we will put it in a culture test and test the culture of it and then it'll say if it's positive or not. Other than that, you have to get a blood test and we will check for the antibody. And the antibody is called an IgG equivalency test. And it basically says zero point 0.9 and low mean you're negative, 0.09 0.90 up mean you positive. So if he's not experiencing an active outbreak, then he might not have it. So we need to check because you can have sex with somebody with herpes and never get it. Just like there's many different trials that ran with Dr. T.C. Fry during an HIV outbreak where they did a literal test on homosexuals where they had homosexual couples where one homosexual couple had HIV and they never stopped having sex and the other one never got HIV, which shows you a lot about, that's what I'm saying, this we have to change our mind. Could it be sexually transmitted? Yes, but sometimes that is not the case at all. So this is what I'm saying. So what I would do is I would check his blood. Since he haven't had an actual outbreak, he might not have it. So get him checked. He got to get his IgG levels checked. It's called a herpes antibody test. And then if it's positive, he is having outbreaks, but he's thinking about the stigma of having blisters and having cold sores. He's not thinking about the tingling, subtle nerve sensations. That's an outbreak. The itching, that's an outbreak. You see what I'm saying? Scratching in a certain area, that can be an outbreak. Outbreak comes in many different ways. Like I was saying earlier, especially if it's in that trigeminal nerve area, having severe migraines inside the maxillary cavities. That's an outbreak where you're having headaches and you don't know where they're coming from. That's because it's up in that 12 cranial nerves. That can be associated with an outbreak. You see now, dry skin patches can be an outbreak. Itchy
Okay.
tongue can be it's many different outbreaks depending on the individual and how strong their immune system is. So he can be having an outbreak and just don't know. And this is the tricky thing when it comes to herpes, that creepy crawler. When you having an outbreak, even once the cold sore leaves, you still in a shedding period from 4 to 6 days after that. So you can be in a whole shedding period and not even know you shedding.
Correct.
So
For as far as for the woman part, she says that she's experienced every time she's on her cycle,
yeah,
then
so
she will
but
get
cycle is hormonal. So whenever her hormones go high, because when you're on your cycle, estrogen increase.
correct.
Right? When you stop your cycle, progesterone increase, and then